Welcome back, everyone. We have legendary guitar player Ernie C from Body Count. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent this afternoon, this morning, whatever it is.
Well, let's get into this. You guys have been a band for quite a while. How has your guys' writing and recording changed since your guys' first release compared to this new release?
Well, at the beginning, the band, we used to get together and go to somewhere and write a record and go in the studio, and we recorded on tape, so it took a little longer. But now the band is, we're all over the place. Ice is in New York, we're here, our producer is in Jersey, so it's a different process. I don't know if it's better or worse. I used to like the camaraderie of the band getting together and playing, but now we can do records and not even see each other. On this new record, we have David Gilmour playing on the record. I haven't even met him yet. So it's interesting. The recording is interesting now.
That's crazy because I read that he has heard the cover you guys did of him, and I was gonna ask if you got any advice, but I saw that you did the solo and all that stuff. Did you just go from what from their like original, or did how would you go about that?
No, David played on this song. He played it note for
Yeah.
note. So what happened was, the original version that we did, myself and Richie Sambora played on it. How we got Richie Sambora to play on it is that my bass player Vince is Richie Sambora's guitar tech. So he was in the studio with Richie and says, Body Count is doing this cover of Comfortably Numb, and Richie said, I'd like to play on it. So Richie played on it, and I played on it, and we both played on it. So then we went to get the approval for it. So we used to do songs, just throw them out, and you can wait to see what happens with it. But on this song, we went and got approval for it. So we sent it to Roger, and Roger, his question was, "Who's singing?" We said Ice T, and if it would have been Gilmore, we probably wouldn't got approval for it. And so we sent it over to David, and David says, "I love it, but can I play on it?" And anytime David Gilmour asks you to play on something, you drop everything. So Richie and I stood back and David played on it. And then he said, I have one more question. If you guys play it live one day, can I come play it with you? I'm like, of course you can. Of course you can. So, and also we sent a video crew over there for him. He said, I want to be in the video. And so he hopped in the video, and it's a dream come true. I can't lie about that one.
That's insane, man. Like you wouldn't expect that from him, especially like it shows how much he cares for like metal and all that, Like to want to be part of Body Count, that's pretty cool.
But just listening to his track record and the things that he's done. He sold all his guitars and all his worthy possessions to get the money to give it to climate change. So it just tells you a lot about the person himself. Sometimes you reach a point in life where you just do good. You're a philanthropist and you have money and you just do good things. You're not worried about all the petty things in life.
I agree. And is your writing process like very internal, or do you guys capture the inspiration for more specifically, do you guys set out to go for like specific riffs, use specific techniques, or does this all start off like as a jam session for you guys?
It used to be a jam session because that's when the band got together, and sat in a room, and we were like, "Oh, that's not working." But now it's just like Body Count is a band that writes by whatever. You can send in a song. If you sent in a song and we liked it, we would do it. You know what I mean? We get songs from everyone from Jamie Jasper on down the list. So you know. Doc sent us a song from God forbid, he sent us a song, or Bad Wolves now. He sent us songs in the past. So, we just, whatever, the objective with BC is to write a good record. We don't get involved with egos or who's writing this and, I got to have this song, so it makes no difference.
And you guys do a cover every record. Has there been one that has meant the most to you? And what's your approach to make them sound exactly like you?
It's not a, now people think we do covers on every records, but we just do songs of bands that we like. So
Yeah.
that's basically it. And just the way we do, we try to be true to the band that
Yeah,
we're trying to imitate. We don't try to change it too much. We try to keep it close to the original that they did without butchering their song. Somebody come and say you butchered my song, like, oh, because we've done Slayer songs and they like it. We talked to Kerry, he loves it. Actually, Lombardo has sat in on the songs that we did, so it's been accepted. I hope.
that's pretty cool though. And you guys have collabed with a lot of artists over the years. Has there been a favorite, and is there someone that you would love to collab with that you haven't yet?
Uh, I like to get Morello, Tom, to play a guitar solo, or Slash, or Duff McKagan's been my friend for 30 plus years. I like to get him to play. Uh, the collaborations that we've done, they just happened. We didn't go out and say, let's get. We had Amy Lee on our last record. And she collabed with us. We didn't say let's go out and get Amy Lee. It just so happened that someone knew her and she was in this nearby, and she's like, oh, I'd love to sing on that. So you know things just happen. We just write the song, and the people just gravitate. We have Max Caballero on this
Yeah.
record. Max has been our friend for 30 years since Sepultura. My guitar tech is his guitar tech, so it's all family. So it's not far of a reach. I quit drinking years ago, and Randy, I've known Randy Black for Lamb of God for years. He's on our last record, so it's not a far reach.
Definitely. And I will say that Oscar is a really cool dude. I know your guitar tech.
Yeah, Oscar's been my guy for a long time, and like 20 plus years. And Oscar's I love Oscar to death.
He's one of the coolest. Going into this record, were there any archive songs from past records that didn't make it on, or are these all brand new songs that you guys brought to this record?
These are all new songs, because Body Count is like a band of the times. We can't write old songs, and this band writes as the political, or
Yeah.
the way things are happening around us. We can't write a song, but we could release our record from 30 years ago right now, and it's the same stuff, But we try to make it more contemporary.
It's crazy to think that you guys have been a band. I don't really talk about politics, but you guys have been a band since or well, a little earlier than 92. That's when you guys released the first one. And if you guys would have released that nowadays, that would still fit in for
Yeah,
today. Like it's
the
there's still
band
all going on.
the band has played since 1989,
Yeah.
so actually, but yeah, the same songs. Cop Killer is still relevant today, but the funny thing about it is we play Cop Killer at our shows, and some
Mhm.
some kids come to our shows now. They're like, oh, you should release that song, like they're like 20 something years old. They don't know the history of it, and also they only know Ice T as Detective Finn. They only know him from Law and Order. They don't know that he's been doing music for 30 plus years.
It's crazy. And another thing that I was talking about with someone earlier, because I told them I was interviewing you, we're all wondering if because it got taken off of that first self-titled record, would you guys ever put it back on, or is it just that's past? You
No,
guys
no,
are yeah,
that's past. That's Warner Brothers. That did what it did, and the people who needed to have it got it. The real fans, people are just going to buy it now because of nostalgia or whatever they're going to buy it for. Now it's past. We've done it, been there. Been there, like Dre says, been there, done that. So yeah.
right. And did you ever think, like sitting here now, did you ever think writing Cop Killer it would stay this relevant till this day after 30 something years actually thinking
Yeah,
about it?
yeah, 30, 32, or 33. But we wrote the song in 1990, so it's
Yeah.
it's 34 years. But no, I did. That wasn't the plan. The plan when we started this band was to try to be like the Ramones. Burn out. Just do a record every week. But so looking back, it's like I don't know how we got here. After a while, it's just like we've been here. We've gone through ups and downs. We have members pass, and we're,
Yeah.
we're, we're still here. Amazingly,
And I always love to ask musicians, how has your gear changed from the beginning of BC to now?
no tubes. So that's basically it. you know, I also, like recently, I start off using, Mesa Boogie amps. I started recently using a Kemper, which is like, a little electronic little box or something like that. And on this last tour, Oscar, the ever popular Oscar, started switching my patches for me instead of me hitting the buttons out front. I'm like, when did I become unable to hit a button now? It's like, oh, and now they're getting ready to make it so the we play with the click, and we used to didn't play with a click. Now we play with clicks and ears and all this fancy stuff. So we used to. Now they're going to make it so the patches will change automatically. So
That's
I don't
cool.
know. That's what's changed.
Yeah.
The guitars have. I still play with 6 string, even though people are trying to say you need 7 strings, you need 8 strings. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Play bass now? What are we doing? So I just have a good relationship with equipment. I have a model, a signature model guitar that's out, so that's on Schecter. That's kind of cool. It's selling.
That's pretty cool.
Mm.
Do you prefer how it is now compared to back then? Because it seems a lot easier with all the Kemper and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not easier. My the Kemper got 300 presets on it. My other amp had 3 presets. On, off. It had loud, lead, and rhythm. So that's all it was. Now it's like 400 presets. So it's not really. They say that it's easier, and then you have so many different things that can go wrong now. One show, something, the click went off, and I'm like, oh, the band just fell apart. In the old days, we used to just keep on jamming, just like we'll keep on jamming until you figure out what's wrong. You can't do that anymore.
Is it crazy doing a click compared to back how you used to do it?
Oh, being off time? Oh yeah. Well, I like being off time. There's something to playing off time,
Yeah,
playing off beat.
that must be
So
crazy.
I quit drinking, so I'm more on time now, I think.
And do you have any favorite solos on this record? And I love to ask, over the years, is there any songs that you still like love the solos on playing them live?
Um, no, I mean, all solos. I play the solos on the record. I try to get some of them close to when I play live, but they're. I try to play them pretty consistent to the way I play them. There's no favorite ones that I like. My solos are like my children. Like they say, you don't have a favorite one. But there's a song on the first record called "The Winner Loses." I like that one because I played for a long time on it, but we never play that live. So I just I like them all. They're all pretty consistent. They're all you know what they are.
And with you guys coming out with this record, how do you guys go about forming a set list?
It varies from day to day and from audience to audience. There's some songs like the Comfortably Numb. We toured uh, over the summer over in Europe. Comfortably Numb, you can't play it during the middle of the day at a festival. It doesn't work as well as when you play it at night in a club or play it at night when people can do lighters and stuff like that. So we experiment with it. We've done shows with Slayer and we don't play Slayer songs. So, there's different things you gotta figure out the set list for.
And sometimes you guys bring older songs back in the set list. How do you go about relearning them? And do you make them more modern for you compared to when you wrote them?
No, we try to keep those old songs the way they sound. They're written pretty well, so we just play them the way they were. But no, we don't change them at all. We just play it straight, and we try to play a mixture of some of the old songs, some of the new songs. Like on this last tour that we did, we added 4 of the new songs from the new record. We used to play a lot of songs from the first record,
Yeah.
but we took some of those out. It's just a balancing act.
And with you guys have quite a bit of a track listing. Is there any songs that you haven't played that you're looking forward to playing live?
No, not really. We kind of, we like playing shows that are like our own shows. Like when we play club shows or arena shows. We play our own shows. We get to play a longer set list. Like for an hour and a half or something like that. When we play for festivals, I mean, it's like 40 minutes. So you really have to. We've learned how to do medleys of songs and cut them down so they just flow all together. So we can get a lot of songs in at one time.
That's actually pretty cool, and that's a smart idea. You guys recently were on the late night show with Jimmy Fallon. How
Mhm.
was that experience for you?
You know, it was great. You know, the last time we were getting ready to play was for our last record, Carnivore. We were going to be on there with Amy Lee. That would have been the first and only time that we played the song with her, and we didn't get to do it. COVID hit 2 days before that show, so that's a moment we'll never get back in time. But you know, Jimmy's really nice. He's uh, loves rock and roll. You know, he has great David Gilmour stories, and it was great talking to him. You know, he appreciated us being there. We were the first band to ever play a metal band to ever play on the Tonight Show. We were on there in 2018. We were on there, and we were the first metal band on television before Metallica came on there. You know, we were first.
Is there any other like late night shows you'd love to play?
We like to play Jimmy Kimmel, you know, because it's in Los Angeles. But there's some, you know, contract things that we can't do it because of.
I know back in the day, one of my uncles, he saw you guys. He's like always tells me about the helicopter story where he sees you guys. There's helicopters circling around, and I always thought it was crazy because he's like, then you guys got banned from playing LA or something like that.
Where did he see us at? You know?
I don't know, but like that was just a story I always grew up with my whole life because he's a big Body Count fan.
Well, Ice used to do this thing where he came out in his rap show and like he had a helicopter on record. Maybe he was high. My uncle was high. He had this helicopter on record and says, "Well, we're landing the helicopter, and you know, then we come out on stage." So maybe he thought that was real.
He always is like, I wonder if it's real or if it's a show, and I was like, it's because he's been seeing you guys since the first record.
Oh, that's we used to have this thing where you hear Ice talking. Well, we're going to land the helicopter, and when the helicopter like, well, we're right there waiting to go on stage. But anyway, it's interesting.
That's funny.
Don't tell them though. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
I won't ruin the story. I won't.
Let them keep on telling it.
And with you guys playing Comfortably Numb on the late night show, how did you guys like? Did you guys actually rehearse before? Do you guys still rehearse at all?
Oh yeah, we rehearse. The band rehearses. Ice is in New York. The band rehearses to keep the band sharp because we just can't hit it flat footed. We rehearse and we make them tapes and we send to them. We rehearsed that. We made him. We sent him a demo and he rehearsed on it. The first time we played it was we played it 2 times before that during sound check because we flew from LA to New York and we played it live on the show. Ice is. I mean, he's been doing this a long time. He's really good at what he does.
I agree. And you guys also play a Chromax the next night. How was that for you?
Oh, that was great. Because one more time, they gave us shirts of the show we were supposed to play with them the last time we were there. Because we were going to play the Tonight Show, then we were going to do the show with the Cro-Mags, then we were going to go do Europe, and all of it got canceled. So they had the shirts, so it was good to play with them.
That sounds pretty cool. And you guys have played with some killer lineups, even on some cool festivals. Do you have a dream tour lineup that you would love to happen?
Not really. We're going to play the Warp Tour out here in LA when it comes in July.
That's
So we're playing out in Long Beach. That should be fun. Kevin always puts together good lineups on the Warp Tour. So we'll, you know, Body Count has never played a Warp Tour. We only played one Warp Tour show, but Kevin's been our friend forever, so he put us on the Warp Tour.
Are you excited to do something like that compared to the other festivals? Because this is way different than like Aftershock or, like the ones in Europe.
Yeah, you know, I the Warp Tour is like, you know, one time, you know, years ago, I was going to the Warp Tour in Vegas. So I flew to Vegas. I was like 50 something years old. So I'm walking, you know, Kevin Lyman puts together the tour. I always tell a story. It's kind of, and so I was walking backstage and this security guy says to me, he says, "Sir, do you have a pass?" I'm like, "I'm a 55-year-old black man at the Warp Tour. Do I need a pass?" He's like, "No, you don't. Go straight." So the Warp Tour is kind of interesting. So it should be fun playing it.
That's amazing. That's funny. And you guys
But one time, excuse me, but the last time we played one show in San Francisco on the Warp Tour. What happened was I found out that the Warp Tour was in Fisherman's Wharf, or wherever it is up there, and Body Count had a show that night. So I called up Kevin and said, "We're going to come play your tour." So we hopped on. We just bum rushed the tour. So we went up there, and Jello Biafra came and introduced us. So that's what I remember about playing the Warp Tour.
Dang, that's funny. That's cool. That's really actually a really cool thing. And you guys have played with a lot of bands. Do you still learn stuff from bands you play with?
Oh yeah, we played with Slayer. We cover Slayer songs. So every band has different things that they bring. Some bands, like we play with Korn quite a bit. Uh, they have good stage stuff that they do. So every band, we take a little bit of something from everyone.
Yeah,
That's the secret of rock and roll. No one's original. Everyone just takes a little bit from everyone else. It compresses it compresses it together and makes their own thing.
that makes sense. And you played with a lot of different musicians over the years. A lot of them have burned out pretty quick with half of the time that you've been in there because you've been in this industry for quite a while. What's the most important thing about maintaining a good work relationship with other creative people?
Well, just balance and keep your ego in check. That's the thing about Body Count. We've kept our egos in check, and we've always been humble. We've opened from everyone from Metallica to Guns N' Roses. We open for bands that we don't even fit with, like Warrant. Just because we have the ability, or we'll play with anyone at any
Yeah,
time.
that's pretty crazy. And
We've opened for the Black Crows in Europe and REM. So.
that must have been very, very interesting. The crowd, especially, they've been like, "What the hell is
Well,
this?"
European crowds have more acceptance. They don't shun other acts that don't fit together. So it's almost like Lollapalooza. America's trying it. We tried, like, with Lollapalooza. Coachella started like that. Now it's turned into something else that I can't quite figure out what it is.
It's pretty crazy, especially seeing that the Misfits are gonna do Coachella next year. I
Yeah,
guess
but
they're
but it's just like they put one group in there that's kind of out but everything else is kind of I can't figure
yeah,
out what they're doing. They had Prince play Coachella.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's insane. I love talking about writer request. What was your writer request back in the day, and was it crazy at all? And what does your current writer request look like?
Oh, back in the day, it was pretty pretty simple. I mean, we had Jaeger, beer, peach schnapps, peppermint schnapps.
Dang.
Your normal stuff that you need on a rider to keep it going, to keep the party flowing. But now it's settled down. Now it's like, I think we have a case of beer that nobody drinks. And there's no hard alcohol. Maybe a bottle of wine. It's always been things like Kentucky Fried Chicken and pizza, because no matter where you are, you can find those things, and they're easy. The reason why people have way out things on their rider is just to see if people are reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see if people pay attention to it. Like, I need this. I need all the orange M&Ms out, or red M&Ms, just to see that somebody read this, or just to get some M&Ms and throw them in the bag.
Yeah. I know a band that has Van Halen 2 on vinyl as one of their writer requests. I'm like, okay, that's
Yeah,
pretty
they just be
interesting.
sometimes people just get ridiculous. It's like, yeah, how many copies of it can you have?
Right. At least 5 if there's that many in a band, right? I'm just
Right, exactly. I mean, if it's night after night after night, then it's kind of ridiculous.
and you've been in a band with Ice-T for quite a while. Do
Mhm.
you guys together have any tour rituals?
Not really. His son joined the band. He has one now. He does some kind of hand pump and things like that. But we're just trying to make it through the show, and have a good time.
And then, what's something that Body Count does all the time that no one would expect?
Let's see. Um, I don't know. I mean, everything is expected. We're not too far out. We just do what rock bands do. We get up in the morning. I get up early in the morning. I go to the gym at 6 in the morning. That's something people don't expect. They wouldn't expect it. 20 years ago, but times change.
That's crazy. And you guys were nominated for a Grammy in 2017, but won one in 2020. Did
Mhm.
you ever think Body Count would be ever on that level to get a Grammy? And was that ever on your bucket list?
Not at all. Back in the day, Ice T had a record, and it goes, "I never get a Grammy, so fuck the G. All I need is a crowd and my MIC." So when we got nominated for a Grammy, we were like, "Oh, we got nominated for a Grammy." So then you get excited and happy, that you are, because I talked to Duff McKagan about it, and
Yeah,
he brought it to my attention. He says, "We've never won a Grammy.
that's crazy.
You should be honored that you won a Grammy. Hendrix never won a Grammy." So then I was just like, "Oh, it's pretty neat." And so then it only makes, for the street level people, it doesn't matter, but it's
Yeah,
kind of an industry thing. So you can say, I won a Grammy. Like when you're at a party and people says, "Yeah, I play guitar, and I play guitar. I play guitar. I won a Grammy." Then the people kind of like, "Whoa,"
yeah,
listen a little harder to you. Makes you a, li- get a little more noticed. And
right.
and I told someone I won a Grammy. They're like, "Oh, what did you win for? Best jazz?" And I'm, like, I'm heavy metal, man.
Yep, they definitely weren't expecting that.
Yeah, that's that. I went on The Price is Right, right? I went on because I went there during the '80s. Then I went back like maybe last year, and they chose when the producers were doing the interviews. The ladies like, "Oh, you play music?" I'm like, "Yeah, I play music." They're like, You're a jazz musician?" I'm like, "Heavy metal," and she said, "I didn't see that coming at all." So,
That's
and
crazy.
I got on the show. It was kind of fun. That's my favorite television show.
That's what I used to watch when I'd stay home sick from
Yeah,
school.
everyone has at one point.
And discussing bucket list, you guys accomplished a lot already, touring the world, winning a Grammy, collaborating with huge artists just like yourselves. What's left on your bucket list?
I don't know, just to have a good time doing it. Now we're at a point right now. We're having a good time
Yeah.
doing it. It's not stressful. We're not worrying about the industry stuff. We're not worrying about record sales. Things that you worry about when you're a young artist. And now it looks like we're going to be around for a while. Even if we fell off the planet right now, we still have legs to do this. Yeah. So now it's just having a good time. We get to hang out. We don't tour like Metallica and those kind of bands. We're not on the road all the time. When we get together and play, it's like a family getting together and rolling around just and having a good time.
Do you ever miss touring on that type of level, or do you like the way it is now?
No, I like the way it is now because I get to do other things. I get to get up and go golfing or whatever I'm going to do. I'm not just working. That's work. So you're not working all the time. You get to see the world, but you a lot of times you're tired and
Mhm.
things like that. So when I was younger, we've been everywhere around the world. We toured so much, you were so tired, you couldn't get up to the next day and go see the city. So now the way we tour now, it's like a vacation. It's like we tour 6 weeks, and it's a fun 6 weeks. I don't do sound checks anymore. I Oscar, Oscar loves it. Oscar does sound checks, and I show up at 8 o'clock and put on the guitar for an hour and a half and play, and then I'm done.
That's pretty crazy slash incredible, man.
Yeah.
And you guys have 8 studio records out on in your catalog. Which 3 mean the most to you?
The first one,
Mhm.
because it's the first one. It has to be that. Um, I think the one that's right here. Let's see what I just saw it. Violent Demise, because
Mhm.
it's Bloods and Crips. It's like it's body count, it's Bloods and Crips. It's part of our growing up.
Yeah,
So that I'm from
yeah,
South Central. You know that means a lot, and probably whichever one is the last one that I've done. So this one right here is like the one I care for a lot, and
yeah,
and then after that it'll be the next one. But those two will always be consistent.
that makes sense. And are the things that motivate you to start a band in the first place still driving you today, whether it's the music that inspired you, world events, etc., or what keeps you inspired?
It's always been the music. It's always been being true to the music, uh, being true to the guitar. I'm still a guitar student. I go on YouTube like everybody else, and I try to figure out what these kids are playing. I'm like, what the hell? So it's still fun to me. When it's not fun, that's when you don't want to do it anymore. But right now, right, I'm later on today, I'm going to go and try to figure out this lick I've been trying to figure out. Just still having fun doing it. That's what I when I started off playing. That's I thought I was going to be great in one day, and I'm still trying to learn these same BB King licks I was trying to learn
Oh, yeah.
45, 50 years ago.
And I love asking, what would be the 5 artists that shaped you as a guitar player?
Um, First of all, I like Robin Trower. He's like one of my all-time favorite guitar players. Jimmy is great and all that,
Mhm,
but Robin Trower was more digestible. I like Hendrix a lot.
mhm,
And everyone always compared me to Hendrix just because I'm black and left-handed. But he wasn't my main influence. Richie Blackmore was my main guitar influence when I heard him, and Jimmy Page.
oh, yeah,
Those guys influenced me a whole lot. And then later on in life, Al Di Meola and John McLaughlin. Those two are like way out the realm, but that's what influenced me. That's the bottom that
yeah,
holds up what I do now. And Ernie Eyes is a guitar player that plays with the Eyes Brothers, who I met when I was like 12 or 13 years old. He plays for the Eyes Brothers, Ernie Eyes. He's still around.
yeah,
People don't notice, or some do, but Jimi Hendrix played for the Isley Brothers.
dang,
He got kicked out of the Isley Brothers because he was too flamboyant, and he went on to play with Little Richard also.
yeah,
So.
that's crazy. And for someone listening to you guys for the first time, well, especially your catalog, what 5 songs would you suggest them to listen to?
um, the winner loses. There goes the neighborhood. Uh, mm, I don't know. It has to be uh, Carnivore, which is kind of a different kind of song, and something off the new record. I don't know what yet, but something off the new record. And,
And
and
where
comfortably, I like comfortably numb just because it shows that other musicians that
yeah,
for the band doesn't have to play on the song. David Gilmour plays the guitar on the song, so that's just kind of
that's pretty cool. I didn't exactly knew that. I knew that he was part of the song. I just didn't know how much of the song he was
Oh,
part
he's 100% of the song. He recorded that on his yacht floating around the Mediterranean. But yeah,
of. That's crazy. And where can everyone keep up with you and buy this fantastic new record?
they can keep it. I'm on Instagram at Ernie4321, and then there's bodycount.com that has all the merch and things like that, you know, and that tells you all our shows that are coming up, all the latest things. So,
Hell yeah. And I'd like to thank you for taking the time to be on the show.
we've been trying to do this for a while.
I
It's my
know.
pleasure. It's my pleasure.
I told people I've been trying for years to get you to do an interview with me, and they're like, "Years?" I'm like, "Well, we've been waiting for a new record to come out."
You're right. It's been a while because the last record came out in 2020 and this one's
Yeah,
2024. So
yeah.
that pandemic kind of screwed everybody up. Now everything's kind of getting back on track.